Hey guys, sorry as I said in my Snapchat about the lack of videos over. I think it's been the past 2 or 3 weeks. It's just been a really difficult time for me personally at the moment. I'm really struggling, but I said that I wanted to put videos out anyway, and I did promise I would give out more content to those who are subscribed. So I'm back with the video, and hopefully we can kind of keep it going on a more regular basis now as well. What I wanted to talk about today was feeling trapped. Someone close to me really texted me and said that they really thought it was a good idea, and that they felt that I was suffering personally from it a lot. So maybe I'll just kind of talk about it from my point of view, and then I'll segue into what I did want to discuss. So basically, obviously, with the weather the last few days, of course, people have been kind of stuck in their houses and that, and they haven't been able to go anywhere, and cabin fever has been a phrase that's been thrown around quite a bit. And it's true. I think once you get stuck in, people are starting to get fed up, and I think by the third day of the snow, people are like, oh, I don't really care at this point. I need to get out in it. I need to get out and do something, even though the day that the snow ended, it was actually really icy, so it was even probably more dangerous to go outside then. But yeah, I mean, it's very difficult because what happens is you're stuck inside and you're just simmering away, and when you're stuck in a tight space, you naturally start to think. And at the moment where I'm at, people who have depression are at is it's negative thoughts, so it's gonna just be worse and worse and worse. And for that, it's really difficult because you can't get out. You don't have escape. It wasn't really possible to go out and just get some fresh air for 20 minutes, even though one of the days I did go out and I actually enjoyed myself. But I think that when you get trapped, it starts to feel, even when I have pants on at night, or some clothes that might be like a little tighter, I start to feel suffocated. Even with the clothes, I have to change them into looser clothes and that. But yeah, when you start to feel suffocating, like you're forced inside, it's very, very difficult to keep going through that, because you're just chewing away in your negative thoughts, and they just keep getting more and more prevalent, and it's very, very difficult to kind of break that cycle. And for me personally, it was the worst couple of days I've had. It really topped off a bad couple of weeks. And people say, well, what triggered it? Well, nothing specifically triggered it. It was just the fact that, I suppose, it's just all starting to build up at me, and there's pressures and stuff, and everyone has stresses in life, we get that, but it's just really, really come down hard on me lately. Personally, I know I'm talking a lot about myself in this video. I'll try get away from myself in a minute, but personally, yeah, I got stressed over the littlest of things. Not being able to go out, if something didn't work, if I dropped my phone, I'd be really losing the plot really, really quickly, and it was just really, really difficult to do anything. And I'd lay in bed for the whole day and not even try and do anything. And it's when you're lying in bed, and it got back to the stage where I couldn't even turn on the light, so I was just comfortable in that kind of a darkness, and that kind of tells you what a dark place that I went back to. And I wasn't eating properly, it's just very difficult. I just spent the day not even on YouTube or anything like that, just basically hating myself for the day, just sitting there doing nothing. I call myself a failure and stuff like that, and people will look and say it's stupid because I'm 23. I have a lot of time to do a lot of things that maybe I want to do, and I just need to get the convictions to start doing my ideas and stuff. But it's very difficult when you're tired all the time and you're cooped up, so you should have lots of energy, but that makes me more tired, because the thoughts in your head, and anyone who's depressed will tell you this, you're fighting yourself, and that's a battle you can't actually win when you get into an argument with yourself about your self-worth, and that it's an argument that's not possible to win at that time. It's an argument you need to not have until you do feel a little bit better about yourself, of course. But it's draining, it's absolutely draining, and that's why you could sleep for 10 hours and be wrecked. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that's difficult to understand. And the one thing I did want to touch on as well, actually, is that there are a lot of people who are fed up and bored, and starting to lose the plot, for want of a better phrase, that they were stuck inside all this time. The cabin fever, as I said. And for normal people, this is a chance, and I really wanted to say this. This is a chance to see what people who suffer from depression feel like. It's not that we're just down. It's not that we're constantly sad. It's not like that. You're trapped in your own mind, and it stops you from doing stuff. Simple stuff like going to the shop, collecting, you know, a takeaway or whatever from someone at the door is very, very difficult. It's hard to get up. If someone rings you, it's very hard to answer that call. You know, it's all these things. You're trapped inside your own mind. And I just thought that the cabin fever for people, you know, who don't suffer from depression is a good indication as to how we constantly feel. And this is every day. Those 3 or 4 days that you built up, like that feeling of frustration, is what, you know, people with depression suffer from every single day. You know, and it's that kind of built up, pent up frustration. And it's not even frustration, it's more sadness and loneliness and all that. It's not the frustration, it's that makes depression so deadly. And yeah, I just wanted to make that point because I do feel that it might help people who don't have depression understand it a little bit more. But yeah, as I said, hopefully I'll be doing more videos in the coming days to try and make up for the fact that I was out of action for the last few weeks. So yeah, I mean, if you've got any ideas, do send them in to me, and thanks for listening, guys. Cheers.